So if you watch my videos, you will know that I build things very often, but most of those things are just demos. It's me showing you how you can build things, not me building actual businesses. But in this series, that is going to change. I did a video recently, link is in the description, on me building an AI translator tool. And I got really excited about it because it's something that I can use in my own life. This is literally the best translation app I've ever used. Like, I'm not kidding. Super quick backstory. I've spent a lot of time living in countries where I don't speak the language very well. I've used Google Translate a lot, but the thing about Google Translate, a lot of people say it's bad. It's not necessarily bad, but languages are not simply take this word and swap it out for this word. The entire construction and context of languages is entirely different, and Google Translate just doesn't cut it. I've got myself into a few situations before where I said the completely wrong thing because of Google Translate, and I want something that is going to fix that. So I have built this AI translator tool, and it is amazing, and I want to actually turn that into a real business. So what we have here, just to explain to you how it works. So in this placeholder box, we have this text, "I'm feeling under the weather today." As an English speaker, that might make perfect sense to you. That being said, if you literally translate that into another language, it makes no sense. It's an idiom. You're under the weather. What? What does that even mean, right? So the point of this tool is to give you a translation, to understand your context, and not just give you a word-for-word translation, but actually help you communicate in the other language, whatever it is that you want to communicate. So let's go ahead and test it out right now and write, "I'm feeling under the weather today." And I'm going to do it from English to Serbian because I do speak Serbian, so I can actually tell you whether or not it's a good translation. Then we can select translation mode. Closest translation, it's going to try to keep it as close to the original as possible. But in this case, for example, it's not going to say under the weather because in Serbian, that literally would make no sense, you know? Then we have tone match. And what that's going to try to do is figure out the best way to communicate the same thing, even if it's a completely different way of saying it. So I'm going to select tone match in this case, and I'm going to hit translate. So what's going to happen here, if I just wrote something like hat, it's just going to tell me how to say hat, you know, nothing crazy. But in this case, it wants to know the context, if that's relevant. So in what context are you expressing that you're not feeling well? Well, let's say I'm texting a friend casually about it. I could say I'm informing my boss or whatever. This is going to help me get the actual most relevant translation. I'm going to click translate. It's going to come back to me and tell me this. Not only that, but if I click this little speech button, it is going to load for a sec. And it is going to pronounce that, not just using some terrible machine translator that doesn't sound right, but it's actually using AI for that as well. So in any language, it's going to give you an accurate translation and an accurate pronunciation. Along with this, it's going to explain to me the tone of what I'm saying, so I can make sure this is indeed the way that I want to be. It's going to tell me when I can use it. It's going to tell me cultural notes and also alternative translations. And I do speak Serbian, and I can tell you this is absolutely perfect. It didn't tell me like I'm feeling under the weather today. If I punch that into Google Translate, it's just going to give me something terrible, right? My app here is working well. That being said, it's not ready to be launched. So I'm going to go ahead and log out, and we can see I have this homepage. I just one-shotted this with AI. It's not bad, I'm not going to lie, but it isn't really great at the same time. I don't think this would convert very well, so I'm going to have to work on that. Along with that, it is showing me right here, like get started free, log in, get started. I am already logged in. So first things first, let's go ahead and fix that. On the home page, when you are logged in, it should show you a button that says like go to, actually, let's just have it redirect. If the user is logged in, redirect them to the translate page. Let's go ahead and make that happen. All right, there we go. So this is now working. As we can see, I'm on the translate page. I'm going to go to just the home page, and it's just going to kick me back to the translate page because what do I need the home page for if I'm already a paying member? And by the way, I've set this up so that it is $8 a month with a 7-day free trial. I'm not going to do a free plan or anything like that at the moment. That may change in the future. Along this series, I'm actually going to do like updates on what's working, what's getting users, what's not getting users. But for now, just $8 a month, 7-day free trial. That is it. You want it, you pay. You don't want it, you don't pay. That is it. All right. So we have this working right now. And one issue is there's a logout button here, but if somebody doesn't want to keep their subscription, there's no option. They're not able to cancel their subscription, and that is not good practice. You're going to get angry emails. So let's make it easy for people to cancel their subscription. So I'm now going to say with MemberStack, can you make it so there is a profile button beside the logout button, which allows you to, or a billing button, which allows you to open the Stripe billing portal and edit your subscription. All right, so there we go. It took a little bit. And by the way, in the event that the MemberStack MCP is getting stuck, just go ahead and restart it. So if you're using Claude Desktop, I think that just means like close it and reopen it. If you're using Claude Code like I am, type in /MCP, and then I'll actually show you how to do that. So just type in /MCP, and then select MemberStack with enter, and then click reconnect. And it's gonna restart it, and then it's going to say it's connected and you're good to go. So that got me past being stuck. Now take a look at this. So now we have our translate with context thing, and there's a little button that says billing. And if I click that little button that says billing, it is going to open this Stripe customer billing portal. And we can see I can cancel my subscription. I can do whatever I want to do. So someone, what people are often going to do is they're going to sign up for a trial. They're immediately going to go and cancel it. They're going to use it for 7 days for free. That is totally fine with me. If it is not useful for them past 7 days, I do not want them paying for it to begin with. So let me just test it out. I'm going to take a look over here in MemberStack. We can see this email right here is trialing. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to click on cancel subscription and see what happens. So your subscription will be canceled, but is still available until the end of your billing period on the 15th of October. All right, cancel subscription. Now I can change this in MemberStack so that it is, let's say it's too expensive. I can change this in MemberStack so that it immediately revokes access as soon as they cancel it. But in this case, I'm just going to keep it like this so the people who want to do that can do it. I think that's totally fine. A lot of people are trying to figure out like, how do I completely safeguard everything and make it so only paying people are using it and all that. I don't think you really need to do that. Create a few backdoor methods for people who just want to use it for free. It's going to spread word of mouth. People are going to show their friends. It's all well and good in the hood. Anyways, now if we check over here in MemberStack, it's probably still going to say trialing because they are still trialing, even though they canceled it. Right over here, we can see that. Okay, so excellent. The billing thing is now working. So going back over here to my app, I would say it, as far as the product goes, is ready to be launched. It has billing, people can cancel it, it does its purpose. It's a very simple UI, but it does exactly what I want it to do. I like it. Let's just go ahead and check out on mobile super quick how it looks. Okay, one issue over here is it kind of, if you see this right here, I know no one's screen is this skinny, right? But a lot of people will have screens like this, and it kind of like goes outside the edge. So I wonder what we can do about that. Can I preview it? I know you can. I just kind of forget how. On different device. Yes. Okay. So I can actually check out some different device types and see. That I think is a good way to go. So dimensions. Let's go ahead and do like iPhone 12 Pro. Okay. So on iPhone 12 Pro, it's good. Let's check out on like. Let's see iPhone SE. I feel like that's the most small, like modernly used phone. Okay, so that is all well and good. Okay, here's an issue. So I think there's actually two issues. But anyways, this here on mobile, it kind of like stays the width of the box. I want to see if I can make it so that it actually takes up the full width, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try that now and get back to you once that's fixed. All right, there we go. It's not perfect, but take a look at this. So now if I click it, it pops open like this. I can still see all the languages. If I click this, again, I can still see all of the languages. So it's looking pretty good. And honestly, I find while vibe coding, like the hardest thing to do is these little UX tweaks, little UI tweaks, depending. Anyways, that kind of stuff, those little visual things, those are the hardest thing because they're hard to describe and Claude doesn't always know what to do. Anyways, I would say we got that working. It is looking very good to me on mobile. I would definitely be, I am using this myself all the time. So, all right, this is working good. I think the next thing that I want to do is add more languages. So I think I'm just going to straight up ask it like, yo, could you add another 20 languages? Along with that, I wouldn't mind having a couple of different, so for example, French Canadian, France French, Brazilian Portuguese, Portugal Portuguese. All those different things, I would like it because this uses AI, so I don't really need to build a whole bunch out. It just kind of goes into my prompt. We can really easily add more languages. So I'm going to have it add like 20 more languages. All right, there we go. So we got 20 more languages, including Swahili, Bulgarian, Persian, Croatian, Georgian, Tamil, Telugu, and many others. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to do this from England. I'm going to test out one of these languages. All right, so now we got, we do have a whole bunch of new things. Albanian is a very cool language and something that I would love to learn a little bit of. So let's go ahead and try this in Albanian. Let's see how you say, I'm feeling under the weather today. I almost said in Albanian. No, it already knows that. All right, let's do tone match and hit translate and find out how to say I'm feeling under the weather today in Albanian. Let's say I'm telling my Albanian boss that I am feeling under the weather today and see how it is that you would go about saying that. Okay, look at that. How do you pronounce that? I have literally no idea. That is not like any of the languages that I know. But I'm going to click this and hopefully it is going to tell me how to properly pronounce it in Albanian. So I'm going to click that, turn on my volume.
Nuk po ndihem mirë sot. Nuk po ndihem mirë sot.
Nuk po ndihem mirë sot. And if any Albanians are watching this, can you please tell me if I said that correctly? But anyways, all right, so let's see. The tone is professional yet slightly informal. Common in workplace communication, cool, appropriate for informing your boss or colleagues, excellent, typical to directly state that you're not feeling well without using idiomatic expressions. Okay, that's similar to like Serbian, for example. Another similar translation. Excellent. All right, so this taught me how to say something in Albanian. Nuk po dihem mirë sot. Totally butchering that pronunciation, but that's all good. All right, so anyways, this is working really well. It does exactly what I want it to do. I'm going to go ahead and click log out right here and go back to this home page, right? I think this home page needs some attention, maybe. You know what? Let's leave the homepage as it is for now. I want to do a separate video where I'm actually going and like working on this homepage and seeing what I can do. Also, I want to record a video demo and add it to this homepage, which I'm going to do. You're probably going to see that before you see this video. But anyways, so now it's working. I want to get a little logo and like a fav icon up here. So I'm going to have it make that. It's literally just going to be like use the primary blue color with some translation icon over it and put that beside where it says translation AI. So I'm going to build that now. All right, there we go. So I've got a nice little logo here and we have our homepage ready to go. The hero content is actually really good. Honestly, this is not a bad page. Like, here's the thing. By trade, I am a web designer. I have spent a lot of time in conversion rate optimization. I've spent a lot of time in UX. Am I proud of this homepage? No, I'm not. I could make much, like no comparison how much better of a homepage I can make. But it's not bad. It's honestly not bad. The copy and the explanation of what this app is doing is actually quite good. I'm not gonna lie. One thing that I just want to fix up with this super quick before we launch it is like it's got these little line dividers. I'm not really a big fan of that. I wouldn't mind having like every second section be a different color. So like this is a kind of light blue. I want to have it be light blue, white, light blue, white, light blue, white, that kind of thing, and get rid of these ugly line dividers. So I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to say our homepage is good for launching. We don't need to sit here and make sure it's perfect. I just want it to be okay so that we can launch it, and then I can spend more time on it after. So I'm going to let it know about the whole like section divider things, and then I will get back to you. All right, there we go. So the homepage is looking exponentially better. I am a big fan of it. Now, there's one other thing that I want to do, and that is I want to add Google Auth. I want to add Google Auth, and then I think we're ready to launch this. Good news is that it's super easy with MemberStack. It's configured like right out of the box. I don't even need to go into the dreaded Google Developer Console. I'm just going to say make Google Auth work with it, and it'll work. We have a button here on the login page, but it doesn't actually do anything. So I'm just going to say add that button from the login page to the sign up page as well, and then make it work. Use the MemberStack MCP to figure out how. All right, so there we go. We got Google Auth working. We pushed it to main. That means it is live. So I'm just going to go ahead and open right now my Vercel deployment over here. So this, as you can see, it is on Better Translation AI Vercel.app. So this is live. You know, you could go to this URL and you could use it. That's it. I can go on my phone. I could use it. Anyone could use it. Now, for example, I'm going to go ahead and click login. So I already created an account in MemberStack over here with Google. So if I go ahead and click on this one, we can see it says connected with Google. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to log in with Google, and it worked. I only have one Google account. So there we go. As we can see, I'm logged in. Now, if I go to billing, just so we can confirm that indeed that is the exact same user, it should show me that. Okay, well, it's showing me that it has the plan. So indeed, it is the same user. That means it's good to go. The only other things we need to do in order to truly launch this as a business are we need to get the paid MemberStack plan, we need to get a domain, we need to hook it up, and I'm going to need to also change my API keys for MemberStack. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I am going to pause the recording for this because it's just me using like real card information. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to get back to you in just a sec. All right, so just like that, I think it took maybe 10 minutes to do all of that. Adding a domain is like super easy with Vercel. All I had to do in MemberStack was change out my API keys. And just like that, as you can see, you are on bettertranslationai.com. I'm going to go ahead and click Get Started for free, and I am going to click Continue with Google. So it's going to pop this open. I am logged in with Google. So anyways, it is going to now take me to the Stripe checkout. Now I am going to pay. So let me just pause this and enter because this is now live. So it's got to be real payment information. All right, so Stripe payment was just completed. Everything went perfect using a real card. So here we are now. This is the live mode, and I haven't actually tried this out yet in live mode. So let's go ahead and see if it works. Let's go ahead and once again say I'm feeling under the weather today. And in this case, let's do from English to, let's do Japanese. Why not? Tone match. Let's go ahead and hit translate. Let's see if we run into any errors or not. Okay, just made an open API, I always mess up saying that. Open AI API call. That's a tongue twister, and it worked. So let's say I'm talking to a family member, my Japanese cousin that I totally don't have. And then I'm going to hit translate. And we can see right here, that is how you say it in Japanese. How do you say that? Well, we also have a pronunciation guide in here. Even still, I don't know how to say that. So I'm going to go ahead and click this pronounce button.
今日は体調があまり良くないんだ。
Beautiful. I'm going to assume that's correct, but again, I do not speak Japanese. You just watched me, in front of you, go from little vibe-coded demo project to like launched business. You can now go to bettertranslationai.com, sign up for my free trial. This is a real live business now. So anyways, the whole point of this series, and I'm going to keep on making this better, is to show you that it's not just about building demos. You can build real live businesses that make you real life money by vibe coding, and it's super duper easy using MemberStack. So that was it for this episode. I think in the next episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the homepage like way better. And then I am also going to work on some programmatic SEO. So what I'm thinking for some marketing for this is basically I can have a bunch of like language pair pages, so like translate from Swahili to Serbian, translate from German to Japanese, translate from all of these different things. I'm going to make some nice looking pages, use AI to build out the content, and I think that's actually going to get us some customers. I don't know. We'll see. I think everyone is hopeful when they first start up a product and then they realize some things that they should have changed. So we'll see. But in this series, you're going to watch me build a real life business. So that's it. I hope you like this episode. If you do, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.